welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. I don't know how the video I made, just to let you know that I was going to make this video, I don't know how it showed up. I don't know how it came out because I haven't watched it yet. But I imagine it wasn't very good because it was outside and the signal's usually really crappy. So, last night, I did a video and I ended up having to erase the whole thing because the signal was no bueno. So let me check and see what it looks like right now. Do that. I don't know why it's staying on 5G, but it says it's getting 3 bars. That's crazy. Okay, maybe they were working on the tower. I never even sent them the message. I tried sending it through the email. But maybe they watch video. Who knows? So, you know, got to go through all this preliminary stuff first. I got to find my aspirin. Okay. So, these are tiresome, by the way, in case you didn't know. Okay, so there's that. And I guess I'll just go ahead and monitor this right here. So, Aaron Dottie Roy smokes hashish, huh? Who would have figured? Can you imagine if someone like her smokes hashish? You can imagine all the school teachers who smoke weed or hashish. I'm gonna put the monitor right here. Put the monitor right here. It's such a pain trying to move these around. I mean, and like right now, I'm watching my monitor and the monitor's freezing. So I don't know if that phone, because I'm forward-facing camera. Okay, so there it's working. But they need to change this. They need to change it to where you can be using your selfie camera and take the mirror off, because selfie cameras are in mirror mode. They need to take that off. They need so the signal's not very good. Let me see what it looks like right here. Okay, it says 2 bars on 5G, so I'm going to try putting it up here. Let's see if that helps. Let's see. It says 1G. Yeah, signal's horrible. So they ain't working on nothing. I ain't about to start doing this video again with the crappy signal, because I did the whole thing last night. Yep, keep switching over to freaking 5G, and 5G out here stinks. Sorry, people. Verizon needs to come out here and fix the towers. Let me try putting it up. Before I do that, let me show you this. Okay. This is a cryptocurrency. I've been showing this lately. This book, you can get it on Amazon. People just took off. They think that that's the only thing I'm going to talk about, I guess. It's called Crypto Trading for Ambitious Beginners. Jell Peters and Jan Robert shoot. Okay. And if you want to know about Bitcoin, what's going on with Bitcoin, I don't know if I should talk about that right now because I've got, you know, this other thing to talk about, and that'll take forever. But if you want to learn about crypto and you want to jump in both feet, then there is a place called Keystone Research Group. You can type it into your search engine. And the person who runs the school is on Shafi. They'll take you by the hand and show you everything that you need to do to get yourself some Bitcoin so that you can put it away. And in 5 years, see what becomes of it, right? So I'd like to talk about that because I do have some information on that. It all ties in together. This video is going to be about trying to get you to be able to connect these dots together, okay? Because it all ties in together. And I made this video last night, but the signal worked out, and so I'm monitoring the signal to make sure that it's not crapping out. And I put my phone right here. I don't know why it would be crapping out right now, right? And but I'd like to get 3 bars. So let me see what it's got. It's got 2 bars on 5G, and that's no good. That's no damn good. You know, the signal will just crap out. I don't know if I should maybe do it to later print out some material. Maybe that'll be the best thing. But so far, yeah, the signal's crappy. Okay, let me move this phone to over here. See if I can pick up a few more bars over here somehow. One, 2, 2.5 bars. Oh, no, that's worse. Let me see if I put it right here by the window. Yeah, that's terrible too. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, there I got 3 bars. It's like they want you to put the phone somewhere where they can sit there and watch you. Right? It gets, I put it right up there where the camera can sit here and watch what's going on. And so I just wait for myself to come back into the video here. I see that everybody left. There's one person, and waiting for the video to catch up. There's a lag. And so without any further ado, before I start, let me also show you this video. I know it seems like all different subjects, and I got the stuff too. I got the stuff to show you so that you can start putting all of the pieces of the puzzle together. It's about the extraterrestrials, okay? All of this stuff that I'm talking about, this subject, that subject, this, the stuff that it just got here, it's all relates to the extraterrestrials. I'm just trying to get you to be able to see it so that you can connect the dots, and you can connect the dots for yourself, right? And so let me grab one more book here. I should get that. I should get the other DVD. Oh, I do have it. I have it right here. Okay. I'd show you the other book by Elaine Foyer too. That's a real kicker right there. Elaine Foyer. That one really is a real kicker. I'll show it next time. It's right there. Okay, so got all these books in the way here. Got my computer sitting right there. Got information that shouldn't be up there where you can see it. Okay, and I just bought myself some. I see everybody left. I bought myself some more corned beef, and it was the kind from here, you know, one of the big. I've actually gone to their places over there in Texas, right off of New Mexico, right by New Mexico in Texas, where they have all their cattle out there in their great big facilities where they actually make all this stuff. So the brand I got today is called Hereford. Okay, they're out in Texas, little small town way out there in the boonies in Texas, and cost me $6. Let's see here. Wait, what the hell? $7. It said $5.99. It said $5.99 on it. It's $7. That's freaking bull crap, dude. So it's twice as much as the stuff at Walmart. You see how poor people pay double for crap? Right? Poor people can't make it to a Walmart. The people who are in these little rural towns, they have to pay twice as much. So that means they're getting half as many groceries. Okay, so I'm going to try that one. And I should see, well, you know where it's from. It's from the United States. Okay, so, which, tell you the truth, I didn't even think about that. So I have to do a little bit more research before I make any comments on that. But I think the beef coming from Argentina, I think I'd rather have that, to tell you the truth. They got good stuff coming in from South America. You know it, and I know it. Just try the blueberries. The blueberries from over here are like eating mashed potatoes compared to the blueberries from Chile or South America, even probably from Mexico. But the ones that I'm talking about are the ones from Chile. They're bigger, and it's the difference of night and day. I used to have to go all the way to Texas to get some. Pecos, Texas, at United Supermarket. That's where they have them at. And so $5 for the bread. They didn't have the bread I wanted, so I had to grab the next best thing. It's freaking hit or miss. Okay, so there you have it. Corned beef is twice as much for the stuff coming from. Oh, I'll check the price at Walmart before I make any comments on that. Okay, so I didn't look at the price. Well, I could go online and look at it. Okay, so that's that for the for food right now. And so I started. See one person. Hello. This is me broadcasting out of California, the Central Valley, over by Fresno, California, about 70 miles southwest of Fresno, California, in case you want to know where I'm at. Okay, so first thing to talk about is mention Noro on front page. Took care of that. Comments, messaging. Have you checked out Susanna, the speaker that I've been talking about? She's a speaker, and the name of the whatchamacallit is, let me see if I can remember the name of the speech. It was in Brooklyn, no, Harlem. It was in Harlem, New York, and it was in 2003, and I don't remember what the hell the name of it is. Okay, but the lady's name is Susanna Arundhati Roy. Okay, and Arundhati is spelled Arundhati. Arundhati. She's Indian, from India, New Delhi or Delhi, India, and her name is Susanna Arundhati Roy. Okay, Susanna is Suzanna. Susanna, like, oh Susanna, I came from Alabama with the banjo. And yeah, I've been to a few places in Alabama. Hunts, Alabama. That place is a trip because it's right by Georgia, way out in the freaking boonies, big time. But anywho, I guess they got a space station out there. I think they built some Teslas out there. I'm not sure, but I think they have the space station. Anywho, so I'm going to be commenting later, but the speech where she talked about this stuff, I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, the one that I used to have posted on my Facebook, I erased it after about 8 years. I erased it, and now I can't find it. But I think that's the one. It's just they clipped off the beginning. And I don't know if they show the audience. But the audience, I didn't think she was in Harlem. Because the dude introduced her in Spanish. And I'm pretty sure it was not Harlem. I'm pretty sure it was in South America. It was either South America or Spain, one or the other. And I'll have to check it. But she was the same age. So I guess she was going over doing that same speech. I don't know. And but this speech seems like it. It's in 2003, May something, in Harlem, New York. And it was at the something church. What the hell's the name of that church? Yeah, I forgot the name of it. Just look her up and you'll see some of the stuff she's talking about. I'll be more specific later on and show you all of this stuff, okay? And it all ties into the extraterrestrials, okay? And so on this speech, she talks about some head honchos. One of them was Rumsfeld. You remember Rumsfeld? I think his name is Ron Rumsfeld or something like that. He was a congressman or something like this, and then he went to work for the FDA. He became the what do they call that? The administrator or something like that. They come out with all these freaking different titles. And so she talked about him, and she talked about the other government official, the highest level of government. Okay. They're saying who's they? People on YouTube that I've heard. And of course, David Icke, who's banned, okay, is saying it, that these people are extraterrestrials. I just heard one person on live streams last night said that most of them are in Congress and Hollywood. Okay, I don't know I've never heard the dude before. I have no idea who this dude is. I'm just telling you what I heard last night on these live streams. Okay, there's all kinds of different people going on here doing live streams, talking about all different things, eating, putting on makeup, playing basketball, showing you what's going on, the activities. But I'll tell you one thing they're not showing you. They're not showing you what's going on with these guys carrying guns. Protesters carrying guns. They're not showing you that. Okay? Because all these protesters that they're showing on TV are protesters that don't have freaking guns. Okay? This is a whole different animal, because the cops or the National Guard, whoever these troops are that they bring to these protesters, they're not the only ones with guns. The protesters are freaking strapped. They have a whole completely different attitude, and they're not showing it to you. And it's going on. Okay? I'll tell you about that later. And so Aaron Dottie Roy, she did the speech, and I was telling everyone, this is a wonderful speech. That's why I had it on my Facebook for 8 years. I had it on my Facebook for 8 years. And she's older now, right? And she's got gray hair. No wonder why people like this get attacked. And anyone who speaks against these damn reptilian shapeshifters, she doesn't even mention anything about aliens or reptilian shapeshifters. Little does she know she's dealing with reptilian shapeshifters. Okay? The people she talked about are in this book. David Icke names them by names, the people she talked about. Okay? If you read this book, you will see the names, first and last, leaders in government at the highest levels of government. Names them by first and last name, claiming they are extraterrestrials. And not one of them, and there's dozens and dozens of them, not one of them has ever taken him to court for defamation of character, because it's all documented. All the stuff that he claims is documented. He has proof of what he's talking about, the bloodlines of these reptilian shapeshifters. She just happened to mention one of them, and they came after her. If you look at these live streams, some dude, some guy went in there and just started calling her some filthy, dirty ass freaking names. Right? And from her own country, her own racial ethnicity. And he's sitting here saying, she ain't no damn this and that and all this crap because she mentioned one of these reptilian shapeshifters. They're on all different skin tones. They're on all different racial ethnicities. Okay? They are the rulers. They rule on every corner of the planet. And they oppress the humans. You thought here was bad? Over there is even freaking worse. And she's talking about it. But in this, on this speech, she was talking about the American politicians. Okay? This is Susanna Arundhati Roy. She's like a Howard Zinn or a Chalowski, or whatever his name is, right? And these are all people who give speeches and tell you what this government is really about. That all these wars are freaking to make money. Okay? You can watch Howard Zinn. He's basically saying the same thing. And so this guy gets up and, I don't know if she's still with her husband or not. I think she had 2 husbands. I don't know if she's with her husband or not, but you don't go on here and talk about somebody's wife like that. I mean, dirty like that. I mean, the way he said it is so freaking unbelievable. You know why he's saying that? Because they have built this facade. They have built this facade around their money to make it seem like they're some kind of freaking macho man, right? And when they're being exposed, like David Icke is exposing them, you're going to see what they really are. And they can't handle that. Because they are like Lucifer. They want to be better than. And they've created this big facade with Hollywood and other things, and that's why they attacked her. Okay? So, if you want to learn about these, what David Icke calls reptilian shapeshifters, David Icke is banned in 30 European countries. Can't even go there. They don't want him there. They don't want him talking to the citizens about this stuff. Okay? At least in Europe, they come out and tell him straight why. They don't want him telling the people about the extraterrestrials because they think that the people are going to go nuts. Can't handle it. Right? Can't handle the truth. But at least they come out and say why. Here in the United States, I don't know if he's banned from coming to the United States, but he hasn't been here in a long time. Okay? But he's banned from any of the social media here in the United States. The 2 big ones, YouTube and Facebook, for some bogus reason. Okay? And so his book, he's got a lot of books. If you go in and you check out his book, a lot of good books. There's like Tales from the Time Loop. There's and there's another one. It is what is it? And the Truth Shall Set You Free. There's And the Truth Shall Set You Free. There's Tales from the Time Loop. There's different ones, but the two ones I show are The Biggest Secret by David Icke, okay, and Children of the Matrix by David Icke. But this one here, The Biggest Secret, I really promote this one the most because it gives you all these people's names, their first and last names, especially the ones that Arundhati Roy, Susanna, mentioned. And she's not the only one who's mentioned it. People from South America have said this dude smells like freaking sulfur. Okay? And so it's banned I mean, he's banned in 30 European countries from going there. And he's, like I said, he's banned on Facebook and YouTube. But these books actually, both of these are actually available in Spanish. So you people over in Spain and South America, these books are available in Spanish. Okay. And on Amazon, just like Kevin Trudeau. Okay. Kevin Trudeau agrees the same thing about these extraterrestrials. They think they're better than the people. They think they have the right to rule over the people, and they think that the people are scum. And that's why I base all my information out of the heights, out of the Holy Quran. If you read the heights of the Holy Quran, you'll see how these things hate Lucifer and the fallen angels, hate humans. They're an avowed enemy. If you read that, you can see the whole dialogue between Lucifer, the fallen angels, in the book. In that book, they call it the serpent, and the Creator. There's a dialogue there, and it tells you that they can't stand the humans. They hate humans. They're jealous of humans. They envy humans. And so this book by Kevin Trudeau, New York Times best-selling book, sold millions of copies, like 10 million copies, right? And he's a lot older now. And they put him in prison for 10 years. I said all this last night. Longest prison sentence in United States history, and mainstream media did not mention a word about it because they don't want you to know that they did this to him. Okay? And where's that other book? Oh, here's the other book by Kevin Trudeau. This is basically the same thing, but it's a lot smaller book and a lot cheaper. You can get this like $5 on eBay, free shipping, right? What more do you want? And he actually reads you the book word for word if you don't like to read, on this 12-disc CD set, which you can get for like $10 on Amazon. And it sits here and it reads the book to you word for word by the author. He's a lot older now. Okay. After he got out of prison, it aged him completely. So those are the books I wanted to show you. And I got some more stuff to show you later. Okay, so that's why this guy came after her, because the reptilian shapeshifters over there that are oppressing the people over there, they're put on this facade that they're something that they're not. They're trying to act like they're some kind of freaking macho man, right? And they're not. They don't want the people to know what they really are. Okay? And so okay, so they're starting to make these narratives, right? Because the people are starting to be able to put the dots together. So I saw a YouTube picture come out on the YouTube, you know, when you're searching through YouTube, through your feed, and I saw Nikola Tesla right there, right? And so that was unusual. I haven't seen Nikola Tesla on these, come up on my live feed on YouTube. So I went over to take a look at it. I don't know if it was on Facebook or YouTube. So I went over to take a look at it, and it says, Nikola Tesla did not agree with Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. And it tells you the whole thing that Nikola Tesla said about this thing of relativity. And basically he said it was horse shit. Okay. And so, Nikola Tesla, I told you before, I think he was probably an extraterrestrial himself. How could he know all this stuff? He invented the transformer. Before Nikola Tesla, nobody had even could conceive a transformer. Okay? They didn't know that you can do this with the electricity. You can take some power that's in a battery, and you can ship it miles and miles away through this transformer. Without a transformer, you would never be able to do it. You'd be lucky if you can transfer it 10 feet, 20 feet. Okay? It would require too much energy to transfer the power that far. So you know how they do it now? Go out there and you look at your power poles, you see those things that are up there? That's a transformer. That's what Nikola Tesla invented. Okay? And so without the transformers, you can't do it. But nobody knew that you could do that. He's the one who invented it. Okay? And so Nikola Tesla also is purported to have been making contact with extraterrestrials. He created a device to communicate with beings in outer space. Okay? Back then, the speed limit, the top speed they could do in automobiles was 35 miles per hour. And Nikola Tesla went and he pulled the whole freaking motor out of the car. The car was like on 101 Dalmatians, Cruella DeVille. You know that car she drives? That's the kind of car. He pulled the freaking motor out of it. The damn thing only did 35 miles per hour. Right? That was the top speed back then. And he put an electric motor in it. Put some vacuum tubes. Didn't even use batteries. Used vacuum tubes. Used cosmic energy. Some kind of microwave energy or whatever. Probably he was using his tower. But the energy was transferred wirelessly through this device he built. The car did 100 miles per hour. Okay? Well, Standard Oil wasn't having it. They had trillions and trillions of freaking oil they wanted to sell, right? They built all this stuff. They had all these freaking plans. They weren't having it. So the only media they had back then, they didn't have internet. They didn't even have televisions yet. Okay? This was like the 1920s, 1930s. And so how did they attack him? They attacked him with Time Life magazine. That would be the equivalent of the internet today, right? Or mainstream media. And they basically said he was a freaking wiener, right? And said that the reason why that car did 100 miles an hour is because he's doing black magic witchcraft, right? Nikola Tesla, his dad was a Protestant priest or preacher, reverend, whatever you call it. And he was a humanitarian. He cared about people. He died penniless when he created everything, all our whole electric grid around the whole world. China, Japan, everybody uses this that he created. And the motors that drive all industry, the induction motor that runs off magnetism, was created by Nikola Tesla. All industry runs off this. He cared about people. Okay, this is not how other people were. namely the person he was talking about, that he said this E equals MC squared was straight horse shit. Okay. This person was more with mainstream. He's going to go along with mainstream. He's not going to go against the grain of it. Okay. So it shows you everything that Nikola Tesla said about it. Then at the end, they said, Nikola Tesla said that, well, Einstein said that you can't go faster than the speed of light, just like people were saying you can't go faster than the speed of sound. Yet here we are going 8 times faster than the speed of sound. Okay? And so they said, even though our telescope over in Chile, right, South America, that's where they have the telescope that's tracking this meteor that's traveling at, I think it's like 35 miles per second. This huge freaking meteor, they're watching it right now because it's doing stuff that it's not supposed to be doing, right? They don't understand how it's doing this crap that it's doing. And they're watching it with this telescope, and the camera on the telescope has 3,000 megapixels. It's a 3,000 megapixel camera. They've never seen this crap before. And so he goes, even though our telescope says the same thing, that you cannot go faster than the speed of light. Why? Because they don't want you to know that they're going faster than the speed of light, because that's the damn extraterrestrials, right? They're trying to throw you off there. That's propaganda. And so that you don't find out about the extraterrestrials that David Icke is talking about in his books, the reptilian shapeshifters. He calls them reptilian shapeshifters. I told you. I think he's one himself. Okay? He's telling all on them, right? And so do your own research. But that's why they put that up there. It's all freaking propaganda. They told you everything. What did Albert Einstein make? Is there anything at all that Albert Einstein made? No. Everything that is made, everything that has advanced humanity was invented by Nikola Tesla, not Albert Einstein. Okay, so who do you think was right? Okay? And for the people like Susanna Arundhati Roy and the other people, they like to have speeches, right? They like to sound eloquent, and they write their things, and they try to be witty and say funny things, right? And then they have these little auditoriums where they have, like, you know, where you'd go to see a play and stuff, but they don't have a play. They have a podium, and they sit here and they read what they've written, right? Have people clap. And so for all these people who like to sound eloquent, right? And using metaphors and all this stuff, Nikola Tesla, the greatest mind set foot on planet Earth. Okay? Read Nikola Tesla. This is his autobiography. That means he wrote it himself. Okay? For all these people out here writing, trying to sound eloquent, have you ever read the autobiography of Nikola Tesla, the greatest mind? Right? And so it's called My Inventions. Okay? The autobiography of Nikola Tesla. It's not that big. Okay? And so that's why They're trying to throw you off their trail. Okay? Tesla was supposedly had already made contact with the extraterrestrials, and and so um so now there was also another person. There was not just Nikola Tesla at this time. There was Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein were here on Earth at the same time. Okay, this was like the 1930s, 1920s, 1911 probably, even into the 1800s. There was another person, and he was from Europe. He was Austrian, I think, and yeah, he was Austrian. George Lakowski was Russian. That was a Russian engineer. Okay, he's the one that they told him to come down here and then ran him over in New York, in Manhattan. Ran him over with the limousine. And so there was another person from Austria, and his name was Wilhelm Reich. Okay, I think he was extraterrestrial too. And he actually worked with Sigmund Freud. They were psychologists. But unlike Sigmund Freud, Wilhelm Reich was also a scientist. And he invented this stuff called orgone. Okay? Orgone. And here's one, but this is a fancy one you can get on eBay. They go for like $20. With inflation, I don't know what they're, probably $29 now, who knows. But this is like a fancy one. They shape it like a pyramid, and it's got a quartz crystal on the inside with a copper wire. So if you go like this, it shoots out electricity. It literally shoots out electricity. Okay. This is why your computer uses a quartz crystal. Okay, that's a quartz crystal in there. Okay, and but it doesn't have to be fancy like this. Then they also put like they call it a Mobius coil. It's got a little copper wire here, and that's all fine and good. But it doesn't have to be fancy like this. All it needs is resin and some metal shavings, like copper shavings, aluminum shavings. You know, when you go to metal woodwork or metal, where they have a metal shop, they'll have shavings of aluminum. That'll work. Or any place where they have shavings of copper, right? It just needs pieces of metal. And this stuff, it's called resin. See this plastic stuff that's on there? That's resin. This is, what the hell's the name of it? I forget. But anyhow, you know, like if you Bondo your car, this is what you use on it. This is also like if you have a table and it looks like it's glass on top. It's actually this. It's resin. And I actually think it was invented by the extraterrestrials, even though they say 3M invented it, right? I think it was invented by the extraterrestrials because this is what makes it. Wilhelm Reich actually had a device. This is in the newspapers. He had a device. He took some copper pipes, and they got pictures of it, and aimed up toward the sky, take a copper cable, tie it to the copper pipes, and put the copper cable into a running stream of water. Turns the sky into clouds and starts freaking raining. And he made it rain. He made it rain in Arizona, and he made it rain in Maine. Saved the blueberry crop in Maine. I just thought I'd let you know that, okay? So he also made this device because he was healing people, right? For their wellness, helping them with being well. And so you can't mess around with this industry. You can't take away their customers, right? A patient cured is a customer lost. And And so he had this device that used this stuff, and it was called a orgone accumulator. Okay. And they didn't want no part of this. Okay. So this industry used the other, you know how they do, right? They use their other stuff, and they said, okay, well, this device that you're making it rain with, don't move that device out of the state. That's a direct order from the court. Somebody else went over and they moved it, and they blamed him, told him to go to court. And he said, in the name of science, I'm not going to court. Right? And so they went and they took him and they threw him in prison. 6 months later, he was done. He was out of here, off the planet, if you know what I mean. And so because, not because of his device that was making it rain, it was because of his orgone accumulator. Okay? So he had this orgone accumulator, and he was running tests on it, and it was putting out more energy or something than was coming in. So you know it's doing something, right? I don't know the way that exactly the story goes. And so people were using it and becoming well, right? And so he took the device and he sent it to Albert Einstein. This is Wilhelm Reich took his device that he made, and he sent it to Albert Einstein for Albert Einstein to check it out. And so Albert Einstein had it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he wrote him back and said, basically, don't waste my time, right? And said it does not work. Or the reason why he said it is because he knows that if he agreed with it, he would be done, just like Wilhelm Reich was done. That's why. Okay. Now, I started thinking, I was like, well, why didn't he send it to Nikola Tesla? Right? Because Nikola Tesla, he said the truth, right? He put himself out there on the line. He was a humanitarian. And so I asked AI, I said, how old was Nikola Tesla at this time? Because I looked up when this was that he sent this over to Albert Einstein. And so I entered asked AI, how old was Nikola Tesla at this time? And it says that Nikola Tesla was 84 years old. So that's probably why right there. Because, you know, once you're even my age, you can't run tests like you used to, right? You can't test stuff, and, you know, you have to use glasses, and your memory's not as good. You know, it's just, you just can't do it. And so that's probably why he didn't send it to Nikola Tesla, because Nikola Tesla was already 84 years old. And Albert Einstein was 62 when he sent it to him. Okay? And so these things have to do with the extraterrestrials. They don't want you to know that this stuff works because they want to be the ones with all the money and everyone else be the slaves. That's the way they like it, because they hate humans. Okay? This is basing the information out of the Holy Quran, the Heights, and information that's in David Icke's book, The Biggest Secret. Okay? And so that's why. And so that's it. I know it you can't understand it. I said the information a lot better last night, but you know, I had to redo it because the signal was no good. So um, hopefully you can understand that. And I showed you the DVD, right? Did I show you the DVD, The Weather Underground? Um, this is The Weather Underground. Okay. Um, and um, this shows you protesters back from the 60s when people were protesting injustices. And this is a DVD. You can find it on Amazon, and you can actually watch it on YouTube free. Okay. Just look for the one that's 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's the whole video. And and right now it's available on Amazon. You can buy the DVD or rent it for $3.98. Like I said, I've never rented anything, so I don't know what that's all about. But this is when people used to protest, you know, and mean it. When they were standing up against injustices, where the protesters today, like these protesters who are protesting No King's Day, is a joke, comparatively speaking. Okay? These people are out there selling hot dogs, popcorn, taking pictures for live streams, right? So if you want to see what real protesters were about, standing up against injustice, not out there to have a carnival, right? A parade, carnival, and eating corn dogs and hot dogs and selling popcorn and right. Then watch The Weather Underground, because it talks about the American Indian movement that was going on here in the United States, and it talks about the Young Lords and the Latin Kings and the Black Panther Party. All of these people were protesting injustice, namely the war that was going on at that time, which the head honchos at that time, who are reptilian shapeshifters, you read the book, you'll see their names, we're sitting here cracking up on mainstream media, cracking up laughing during the war, the slaughtering that was going on, and these guys are sitting up there cracking up laughing, right? Because the people were so damn dumb. They're starting to snap out of it a little bit. A little bit of the people are starting to catch on and pay attention to what's going on. Okay, so this is The Weather Underground by Sam Green and Siegel. What's his name? Bill Siegel and Sam Green. And it's narrated by one of these people like Susanna Arundhati Roy. One of these people, her name is Lily Taylor. She's one of these people who like to get up there and read books and sound eloquently. And she reads books like Susan B. Anthony, which was very good when she reads that thing by Susan B. Anthony on here. It's like the introduction to it. And so I was saying that I think they're going to take this off the market. Okay? Because I used to promote these two documentaries. This is a documentary, The Weather Underground. And I used to promote these two documentaries. And they pulled them off the market. Namely Amazon. Okay, if you look this one for Amazon, you'll see it on there, but it says out of stock. We don't know if or when it will ever be back in stock again. Okay, this is Aaron Russo's Mad as Hell, and this DVD, this documentary, not the book. This is the documentary video. This is The Murder of Fred Hampton. They pulled it off the market. Okay, so if you see it listed there, it's going to say out of stock. We don't know if or when it'll ever be available again. Okay, so I'm thinking this one will probably be next, but it's up there right now on Amazon. It's The Weather Underground. Okay, and this is about protesters. It makes these protesters these days that are out there doing these No King's Day and all this other crap look like a walk in the park. Okay, and so that's all I've got for now. I do have that other stuff that I want to show you, but this is probably, it's already been like over an hour already, probably sitting at 1 hour right now. And but I do got that other product that I want to talk to you about, show you about, and show you how over here they just, it's a crying shame what they're doing to us with the what they're feeding us compared to other countries. Okay, that's why our food is considered hazardous toxic waste in other countries, and it's against the law to import it into other countries because it has to be labeled hazardous toxic waste. Okay, and so I've got it. I haven't even opened the package, but I'm looking forward to checking out this product because I could not find the product. I could not find it in the United States, and it was written in Asian language, Korea, I guess. But I finally found it, so I got it ordered up. So that'll be, I'll be showing you that on my next video. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, it's not as good presentation as what I did last night, but the whole thing just wiped out, and I hate doing it twice, right? In the same, 48 hours, in the same, right away. The next day, have to redo the stuff that you just talked about, right? It does not come out right. And so I'll have to go through and watch it again and find out which points did not get, are not registering with the audience. Okay. So it was mainly to tell you about these reptilian shapeshifters, how this all ties together. This lady, this nice lady who is giving these speeches, a nice lady, what kind of a freaking animal, freaking low-life creep would go up here, and I'll show it to you if I can find it. I'll have to show you on a phone because on a laptop works completely different. You can't even go through live feeds on a laptop. It has to be on Android. I'll show you that this person on the phone. But I mean, just calls her some just horrible names, right? I mean, that's somebody's mother, right? Somebody's sister, and just it's straight from hell. That's what these things are. They don't want to be exposed for what they are because they've created this great big facade that they are something, better than. They don't want the people to see what they really are, just like the scriptures say. It pretends to be this, big, powerful thing when really it's not. And that's why they're That's why they're hell bent on making sure the people don't find out who the hell they are, because they're loving it too much. They love the advantage of having telepathy. They love the advantage of coming up and invading your privacy by reading your thoughts. You don't think they can do it? You have no freaking you if they are doing DNA or gene editing on a computer, and they show you what they're doing. They just crossed a catfish with an alligator, crossed the genes on computer, created this thing, right? They're mixing the genes on the computer that mixes it. It's like robotics or whatever. And have you seen a praying mantis? Actually, I think it's called a mantis. If you look it up, it's called a mantis. But it's a praying mantis. Have you seen how it attacks its prey? It uses telepathy. It hypnotizes its prey. It walks straight up to it and freaking bites its head off, bites into its head, and consumes it. You don't think they've messed with this? You don't think they've mixed these genes? That's why these extraterrestrials who've been getting away with this over and over again, like Lucy pulling the football, it's like taking candy from a baby. If they have a IQ of 400 and humans have an IQ of 140, it's like taking candy from a baby. That's why the humans can't figure it out. Okay, because they've got them all freaking jacked up on the crap they show them on TV, and giving them subliminal suggestions and who knows what else. And you know, the techniques they use these days, what they used to use before, it's just so much more far advanced. The techniques they use. I don't want to go into all the stuff. You remember the Coca-Cola, eat popcorn, drink cola. It boosted their sales 80% by putting one frame in that said that. The people didn't even know that they saw it, but the subconscious was picking it up. You don't think they've mixed these things? When they showed you the things they mixed, they showed you Dolly. Remember Dolly, they mixed the genes? They've been here since day one. If you go to the pyramids in ancient Egypt, they've got pictures. They're showing you that they know how to do it. They have a picture of a human with an eagle head. What do you think that means? They're mixing species together. It's like the Super Friends, right? What do you think they're doing in the underground cities? Do you know that there are underground cities? Do you know that there's a machine, a big old freaking machine that plows through the earth like butter? There's an underground city in Sedona, New Mexico, which is right by Flagstaff. Did you know there's an underground city there? Did you know that there's an underground city in Dulce, New Mexico, which is actually dulce? That means sweet in Spanish. In Dulce, New Mexico, right on the Colorado border. Did you know that there's an underground city? What do you think they're doing in those places? So if they're mixing these things together, they're going to have telepathy. Okay? And so they love it too much, invading your privacy by coming up close to you and reading your thoughts, what you are thinking. Even the stupid ones, the ones that are dumb as a pile of bricks, they have telepathy. Okay? And so they don't want the humans to know this. They don't want them to know that they're here. You know, they've been here since ancient Egypt, because If the humans find out that these mofos, these clowns have telepathy, they're going to tell them to get the hell out of here, to go back to their own freaking planet, because that's an invasion of privacy. Okay? And so that's all I've got for right now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for sharing the video. And thanks for subscribing and hit the notification bell so that you'll get notified when I do another live stream like this. So you'll be in the loop.